This is our interview with Rob of Cognitive. So we do kind of an in-depth from the beginning of the band, as well as a few side discussions, which we seem prone to do. Really loved meeting him. What a great guy. We will be seeing them in 2 weeks right here in Baltimore. Can't wait to hang out and hear some more about Cognitive.
He's an expert in shout outs. Anyway.
Anyway,
Well, thank you
so
for
excited to get to talk to you. What an incredible album this is. Really, really good. And I love the name.
you don't mean our album, right? You meant someone else.
No.
Yeah.
No, in fact,
But
it's kind of nice to listen to. We just got done the Maryland Doom Fest. So after like 2 straight days of that, it's glad to have
We
it
went
on.
to MDF, and then 2 weeks later was like the Maryland Doom Fest, which is all like 100 doom metal bands from Maryland and Ohio and PA and stuff. So
I mean, it was
Maryland,
good, but by the end of the weekend, we were like, oh, something with some speed.
yeah.
dude, it gets any fest after like 2 days, you start being like, what the hell did I get myself into? This is so long, my feet hurt. Oh,
Yeah. There's a lot of walking and there's a lot of like climbing up, into garages and stuff. Yeah. So
Maryland Death Fest is incredible though, man. Hats off to that crew for making that happen like they do every year. It's something else.
it is. We try to never miss it, except the one year they didn't have it, but they had this thing called Hell in the Harbor instead, which was
Yeah, I went to that.
oh, you went to that? Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I
That was
went to
pretty
that,
good.
and I went to the last Maryland Death Fest that he had before he took the break, and that was super sick. I was glad I got to go to that. I've been to two of them. We played one. We played the one where Cryptopsy did None So Vile in its
Oh yeah.
entirety. I
Yeah.
think that was 2017. And then I went to that one, and then now I just with work I can't always go to stuff I want to do.
Oh, no, I guess not. No. No. Ugh.
So tell me about how you guys came together at the beginning and what kind of your original vision was for what
Uh,
Cognitive would be.
I had started the band with our original guitar player Jake, and my buddy Mike Castro was the drummer, and it was just like, yo, like let's just write what we like, and kind of like to me, like I always liked like what Between the Bury Me did, kind of older stuff, what Cephalic Carnage did. I was like, I don't want to just do one thing. I've known Jake since I was born. Actually, my parents went to high school with his parents, so like,
Oh wow. Okay.
yeah, he's actually the reason I kind of got into playing guitar when I was younger because he was in a band already. But yeah, we just set out to do. I still feel like we do what we always set out to do. It's just you get older and better at certain things. I feel like maturing, but it sucks. We've had a lot of lineup changes. I mean, it's mostly been stable and consistent for the past couple of years, but just touring and stuff, it's not for everyone. It's not exactly paying all the bills all the time. So
Yep. Mm.
we're friends with everyone that's ever been in the band still, which has been cool. But
Yeah.
as we all get older and stuff, I feel like we just got better at writing songwriting sometimes instead of
Yeah.
just being all over the place. I feel like if you compare the earlier stuff to now, you see the progression.
Yeah.
So, how did you originally come up with the concept of naming it cognitive, which is kind of like, perception and mental things?
Yeah, it was just always like, I didn't want to have like a super crazy brutal name. And our original logo was pretty much just a font. Because like I feel like branding is important and being able to read a logo is important. Fast forward to bands like Sang with Sugar Bog proved me wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love them
Yeah.
guys. Shout out to them. But yeah, that proved me wrong. I was like, whoa, good for them. But it was just a name I had shot out. Like, dude, it's so hard to come up with band names that's either not taken or it's just over the
Right.
top ridiculous. I was like, yo, like we're always trying to be like forward thinking and do different stuff or combine a lot of stuff like thinking cognitive. We went with that.
The two words together.
But no, it was just cognitive. We were just like, yeah, it just sounds cool. Like we're always thinking about being a forward thinking band. So why not just kind of go with cognitive, which, is like your thinking and thought process.
Yeah, it's heavy and
Yeah.
intelligent, but it doesn't pigeonhole you into any particular type of
Yeah, I
metal.
didn't want to be like shit bath or something like that where people, yo, did you go see shit bath this weekend? Everyone's like, oh, I know what they sound like already.
Iron Horseshoe. Yeah. I
Yeah,
know what
yeah,
that's going to sound like. Yeah.
yeah, I just didn't want to do that.
We got a local opener here. I always think their names. It's called Cemetery Piss, and all I can see every time is like some guy peeing on a tombstone. I'm like, really, Cemetery?
Are you
Piss?
guys from Maryland?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say because I see that name around a lot.
Yeah, there's them and there's another band called Total Maniac, and I think that they're just like they must do the accounting for every local bar or
They
something.
open
Or
for everyone made of molecules.
yeah, so I mean they must have an in because they're neither band is very good, but they seem to open up every show. So
Yeah, the singer for Tonal Maniac has a way, like he'll announce a couple time in the stage that after the set he's gonna be in the bathroom waiting for a rock and roll queen. I'm like, you're gonna be waiting a while.
Ooh.
especially when because you consider the bathroom in this
Aren't
venue
we
is like
all waiting a while though?
the bathroom in this venue is like a phone booth. I mean, there's not a lot of room for action anyway. So
Ah,
And he's kind of like, he kind of looks like Santa Claus. He's got, big gray beard, big tummy, just a vest on. I'm like, no, dude.
Yeah, he's one of these.
peak male performance, to be
Yeah,
honest.
he's one of these guys that you're like, dude, keep your shirt on. Okay, we don't need to see it. Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love it. Well, I like how your style has changed a little bit from deathcore to becoming like more technical death metal with adding all these melodic elements, harmonies. What are kind of the factors that kind of inspired you to shift that way? Which is good, by the way.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. It's funny because like when we started out, I thought we were like just like a techie slam band, and then just I've never pigeoned this hole into anything. So like when people like you sound like this or that, like I like hearing everyone just pick different genres because like I feel like we incorporate it all. But like the new record, like it was just like, yo, like why don't we like repeat parts and come back to parts more, which is like something we kind of dabbled in on the last record.
Right.
But this one, it was like, yo, let's like really like do songwriting and take our time. Cause like when Metal Blade picked us up, I was like, this has to be good. We can't fuck this up. I don't want Daddy Brian Schlegel getting mad at us.
I was going to ask you about that. Like, what was that like? How did you move from, I guess you were indie before and then you went to Metal Blade or what?
No, it was, we were on like a smaller label. Then we went to Unique Leader. And then when our Unique Leader contract expired, we had started talking to Metal Blade, and it was like, whoa, this is crazy. So then when we got hit up, it was like, all right, well, we got to start writing a record and like take our time with it. And then we had did like one melodic singing part on the last record, and then on this record, we were like, yeah, we should try and do that more if it fits. I didn't want to force anything. I told everyone, I said, yo, nothing should be forced. Like, let's really take our time. And like, we were hard on everyone. Everyone, yo, that ref stinks. Your drum fill stinks. Your bass line stinks. Your vocals stink.
That's good. Yeah.
We stink. Like,
Yeah.
but I think it paid off.
Deodorant.
Yeah. What's the scene like now? What are some of your favorite bands to play with in the I guess the South Jersey scene?
Yeah, I mean, well, we consider ourselves like a Philly band because like that's like the spot, like where it's pretty much hometown. South Jersey, I feel like had a strong scene for a while, but just like people from South Jersey will go to a show in Philly because a lot of people drive, but people in Philly, a lot of people don't drive because it's like New York City. You can just Uber, take a train, mass transportation. There's nowhere to get to South Jersey, like, you know what I mean? So it's like, it doesn't make sense. So I feel like that kind of always hurts South Jersey for the most part, unless there was like something really special people come out to. But Philly, the Philly area is awesome. I mean, North Jersey's sick too, but like we've got Half. We love them guys. Replicant. I don't know if you heard that last Replicant album. It's awesome. Just trying to think. Dark Waters End, super special from our area. Fit for an Autopsy, our friends, they fucking kill it. I mean, there's legendary bands from our area. I mean, dude, Jesus Piece is popping off right now. We love that band.
We saw them at Hell in the Harbor, I think.
So did I. I thought they were the best band of the whole
That was
fest,
great.
to be honest. I thought they blew the fucking roof off the place, but love them guys. I mean, we got legendary bands. I mean, you're talking like Jersey, Philly, like Dillinger Escape Plan, Hate Eternal, Dim Mac. Like, just so, God forbid, we're playing with them in New York in September. Like, I personally think we have like a very sick scene around here.
That's great. Yeah.
I love the name.
Lorna Shore from Jersey. Look where they're at now.
Yeah.
So it's not all Jim Laundry Tan.
No. No.
I hated that show so bad. My daughter used to watch it, and I used to feel like I had to watch it with her just for parental guidance. And I'm like, are we really? Okay.
Right. Well, that's also when Joe Flacco was our quarterback, and he helped us sort of understand what it was like coming from there, because I think he's from that part of the world. So.
Yeah, he actually, Joe Flacco is from the town that I live in.
Okay.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like we go to the bar up the street and guys are like, "Oh yeah, did you see the Flaccos? No, that's this and that." And like it was awesome rooting for him this
That's so
past
cool.
season with the Browns. It was really cool.
Yeah, that he came back and all. Yeah, and the thing with him is like in the early days, you watched the commercials were terrible, but you could tell they coached him up, because by the time he got to the end of his career, he actually looked better on camera and he was doing endorsements and
Yeah, no, dude,
wasn't
I have
awkward.
nothing but good things to say about him and like watching all that happen. I mean, obviously, go Birds, fly Eagles, fly, but you know.
Yeah.
I'm a Flyers fan because we don't have a hockey team here in Baltimore, so
Yep.
we hit up there quite frequently.
Well,
Yeah.
that was a miracle we just had happen this past season, getting as far as we did.
Wow.
Yeah, I've always loved going up to Philly. We would much rather go to like the Trocadero than go down to DC if we have to, if the band skips Baltimore, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, we would go up there and there was I don't know if it's still there, probably not, but that huge relapse store used to be in downtown Philly.
Oh, Relapse.
I
Yeah. The
I
Relapse store
love
on
that.
South Street.
I
Yeah, that was awesome.
I would just spend my whole check there.
Dude, that was super special. Dude, Relapse in the early 2000s
Oh yeah.
was like was so impactful to me and like one of my best friends. Like me and him, like to me, that was the golden era of death metal to me. Like Cephalic Carnage, Origin, Nile, Dying
Everybody
Fetus,
great was on that
Dillinger,
label.
Mastodon, all that was on there. It was just
Today
like
is the day. I mean, just everything.
Suffocation.
Yeah.
Suffocation was on. Oh
Suffocation.
my God. Like that label was like that era specifically right then and there was just like Burnt by the Sun, another Jersey band. All them bands were on there. It was just like ridiculous.
I know, crazy. I think they had Neurosis for a while too, I think.
Yeah, Neurosis.
Yeah.
I can't remember all that, but that era, just that time period of Relapse was like insane to me.
Crazy. I know.
So getting back to you guys, I love abhorrence. That's just such a 50-cent word. What things do you personally find most abhorrent in this world?
Everyone and everything. I think the way I tell people this every time they talk about, I'm like, dude, like I don't like the way people treat each other and talk to each other anymore. Like I just think like everyone's like rude. I think it's just like it's impossible to be perfect, but it's not hard to try and be a half decent person. So I like turn it on the news.
I thought you were going to say bad conveyor belt maintenance.
Oh well, that sucks too. But turning on the news is like the most depressing shit ever. Like I can't do any of it. It gives me anxiety. I don't even fucking do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I work with the public. You know, I work for a doctor, and just the stuff that comes through there on a daily basis is mind shattering.
Oh, I couldn't work in healthcare. God bless you. One of my best friends is a nurse, and like I'm like, dude, like I can't do it.
No.
Watching
The
people
story she
sick
tells me.
and
I can't believe how stupid people are. Just the story she tells me. Crazy.
People who come in that obviously have pooed themselves, and you can't be like, "Hi, you smell. Get out." You know, you just have to freaking deal with it. Like,
yeah. I wouldn't trade jobs with her.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
I agree with you on that part. So, who created that great cover art? It almost looks like all those hands are reaching for the deity.
It's my favorite cover art for you guys so far.
it's mine too. Thank you.
Yeah.
Pedro Cena, Lordigan Art. He did the last two records. This is the third record he did for us in a row. I trust that guy with my life with his ideas. We didn't even tell him what we wanted. We did that with the last record too. We were like, draw what you want. He sent us some stuff. I was like, can you try and make it a little bit different than that and go this direction? And then he did his take on it. I was like, that's sick.
Yeah.
I just told him some colors to use because I was like, these ones were all these colors. So I'd like to try and do this. And he knocked it out of the park.
Yep.
Yeah, it's really eye-catching too, like with all that pink up the top and
yeah, I'm proud of it. I love that guy.
So you got a new bass drummer in 2019, I guess around the same time. So how did you come to work with Tyler and AJ?
AJ, we've known for a while just from playing in other bands. He's got a band at that time called Ophidius, and he was awesome. And he had just started Half as well, and he had recorded us. And I was like, "Yo, like, do you want to do drums for us?" He was like, "Yeah, like I can't tour all the time with you guys, but like, I'm down to help out." and Tyler had been in bands too in the area, and we were just like, "Yo, do you want to try it?" Well, actually, what happens? He filled in for us. I was like, "Yo, this dude's like really fucking good."
Yeah.
So when our bass player had left, I was like, "All right, well, let's see how Tyler does on this tour." He killed it. And I was like, "Yo, is this something you want to do?" And he was like, "Yeah."
That's
So it all
awesome.
just worked out. Like it sucks not always being able to have AJ there, but he's a fucking awesome guy. I love him. He's super funny and
Yeah.
he's really helpful. Like he runs the studio that we record at and everything. So he's helpful. He's a hell of a drummer.
Yep.
I noticed most of your titles were one word, except for the really long "For Malevolent Thought of Hastened Extinction." What led you to the departure on that title there? I like it. It's just like everything else is literally one word.
Yeah, well, that's why, because everything else was one word, 2 syllables, 3 syllables, and I was like, "Yo, let's go for a long one." And then this time I was like, let's get back to like a single word if we can.
So you were writing while you were on tour for the Malevolent one. Was the writing process a little different writing on tour as opposed to, pandemic when you were home?
Not really. It was just, oh, I mean, the pandemic, we had nothing but time on our hands, but it was definitely interesting being like we wouldn't have guitars in our hand on tour writing, but it would be like listening to the songs and be like, oh, we got to get rid of this, we got to get rid of that. Or I had this vocal idea, or maybe we could repeat this part, and it was just like, all right, then we come home and we had 2 months off. Let's hit it. Okay, let's go out on tour. Okay, let's get back home and work on it.
Yeah, that's probably actually a good place, because you're stuck together anyway, right?
Well, that's how we were looking at it sometimes. Is we're all together. Let's get it done.
So the song Insidious, I'm guessing it's about some kind of addiction.
Yes.
Is it based on some true event, or is it just kind of a general thing?
It's funny because like the last record had a song that like I had actually written about addiction. This one Shane did, but like I guess you can kind of call it true event, but I mean, like, who doesn't have that true event in their lives? Like, someone's always got, no one in our band has like super battled with anything like that, but all of us have been surrounded by somebody that has. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's a hard thing to deal with, like, just watching.
Yeah, I have a relative, I think, who's just professionally in rehab, and he's always going to get better, and then he's back in another one. It's just like, I don't think
I'm
this is
always rooting for people, man. Like,
Yeah.
I always root for people to get their lives together and just be okay, because like it's hard to watch.
Oh yeah.
It's so hard.
I am always cheering someone on about that stuff.
Yeah.
And you always have hope, that this time, and then I hear he's working at Taco Bell. I'm like, shit, this isn't gonna work. God. So we had kind of a couple track questions. So A Pact Unholy, I like. It almost sounds like a demon summoning type. Did any book or movie inspire this?
Shane had wrote it about like a necromancer, like bringing demons to life out of blood and back to life and all that stuff. Because he's like a big like Magic the Gathering and Dungeons and Dragons nerd.
Cool.
So he had written that one.
Yeah, you can definitely feel that in the song. It's kind of got its creepy edges.
Yeah.
I love Shane's delivery too. He's got this wild
He's
mix.
incredible. He's incredible.
Sometimes he always reminds me of like a grindcore delivery, but then he'll change it up to like a death metal, and then the clean stuff. Oh wow, it's just wild how he can just float one to the other.
Yeah, he pushed himself on the record. We pushed him. We were very hard on him. I think it paid off, and he delivered.
Yeah, it turned out great.
Yeah, I like that one a lot too. So, do you think your songwriting process has changed a lot since you started with the Horrid Swarm, or has it stayed basically the same?
I think moving forward from this record, I think like we kind of hit like what we want to do, and it's just about finding ways to do this better without being redundant, I think.
Yeah, the guitar work is so good on these. Like the guitar intro for As the Light Fades. Did you write that first or did it come later? That's such a neat piece in that.
You want to hear the interesting thing? Shane wrote that whole song on guitars.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, and then Harry wrote the solos and all, but Shane wrote all the guitars on it.
And Mark was really a big fan, I think, of the lunar psychopathy, the shift where we kind of shift into gears, to those harmonies and then back. It's really quite
That was the
impactful.
first song written for the record.
Wow.
Yeah, I love the
Yeah,
harmonies. Yeah.
that was the first song written for the record, and the second song was that single we put out, Rod Eternal, before we put this record out. We were like, yeah, why don't we put Rod Eternal out as like a standalone?
Yeah.
So was there a track that was inspired by a video game? Because I couldn't figure out which one it was.
Last record had a song, 2 songs on it that were inspired by a video game. This one, I don't remember the game it was because it wasn't something I had ever played, but Shane had written Containment Breach about a video game, but I don't remember what the video game was. And I'm a video game nerd, and I had never heard of it.
What
Okay.
what do you play a lot?
Nothing now with this job, but I'm like super into just like everything. Like I can play as long as it's single player. I used to be really into multiplayer, but I don't have the time to like devote and sit home and get like good and go online unless
Yeah.
it's like a fighting game. Like Call of Duty, like it just takes so much practice to be like know all the levels all the time. And I used to be like that. I was super into Call of Duty for a while and Battlefield. I just don't have the time anymore. So like when I come home, I want to play single player games or like storylines. It's just like leave me alone. It's like playing a movie.
Right. Right.
Have you ever done those online things like World of Warcraft where you get on, you play with other people and
I haven't done the big like massive online RPGs, but like obviously people love them. People love that stuff. But that's another thing. It's like, okay, I got to make sure I'm home to do by 7 o'clock to do my raid. And like, I can't do that. I can't commit to
Right.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a boyfriend who was super into that, so I tried to be just, so we could so he could be at his place and I could be at my place and we'd do it. But the one night I decided to get on by myself and it was kind of late and I think I had a glass of wine or two and somebody invited me to a dungeon raid and I was the healer and I think my reflexes were a little slow and they kicked me out of
Oh,
the
you made everyone die. What the fuck?
I was like, sorry.
You made
Yep.
everyone lose their loot. What the fuck?
So I
See,
learned very quickly, no wine and
no wine with the video
Oh,
games. No.
you got to stick to energy drinks.
Yeah. So for the video for Abhorrence, I'm watching it and I'm thinking, where'd they get a school bus?
Yeah, there's a scene where it's like in an empty bus.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I
so
thought it was.
there's so many funny stories, and what you just said kind of is funny. So they're not in a bus; it's a train. He's on a train.
Oh,
Ah.
okay. It's a
Yeah,
train.
yeah, it's a
Okay.
train. So they went to the train station. However, we have a bus that we own. That's our touring vehicle. We used to have like a small mini school bus, and we
Okay.
upgraded to an old age home bus with like the lift in the
Ah,
back and all that.
that's probably a lot more comfortable though. Yeah.
Oh man, we got bunks in there, everything. It's awesome.
That's cool. That's cool.
But yeah, the abhorrence video was super fun to film.
I love all the squiggly lines. It kind of looks like a little.
It's so funny because some people are like, "This was a cool idea." Shame AI created it, and it wasn't made by AI. A buddy of ours did like all of them drawings, all the squiggly lines, all by hand.
Wow.
Oh, and it sucks because like I'm not. I don't sit there and jump down people's throats about AI. I'm not team AI. I'm not into it.
Yeah.
I do think it's fascinating some of the stuff that it comes up with, though. You're like, wow, that looks cool.
Yeah.
But I think it sucks that now if you have something cool looking, people automatically think it's AI, and it
Sure,
like
yeah.
really like, and you can't even blame AI for that. You got to blame people just jumping to conclusions about that because that's their choice to come up with that conclusion. And it sucks because this dude worked really hard on that video.
There's a big disclaimer. I didn't even tell you this on the front of Metal Archives about accepting AI generated metal bands.
Music, yeah,
Apparently,
yeah.
there's so many. I guess you just say, "Write me a song in the style of early Burzum" or something like that, and then you just sing over it. And Metal Archives wrote this long thing about we will do everything we can to research and make sure that your music is
I
made by
respect
humans.
that. I do
Yeah.
because like you're just taking the like I understand like the idea of like AI can create this stuff, but like there's no emotion or passion in it
Right.
because
Right.
it's just emulating something that has been done that was created with heart and passion and all. So, but I'm not going to dog bands. Like I've seen people screaming on the internet about bands using AI art, and I'm also like, dude, like if that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. Like I don't like. I just got better things to waste my energy on. that
I
like
haven't seen
scream.
I haven't seen any AI art that's better than
No.
a really good Instagram artist. I mean, I haven't really seen anything that I've thought was
I
better
haven't
than,
seen anything
you know,
like that, but like I've seen
like your latest album cover. I don't see AI making something like that. I mean, you know.
we posted up the making of it, of the guy drawing it. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yo, like in case anyone thinks that's AI, like the dude fucking drew it. No one criticized that. Someone thought our Lawrence video was, and I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. For a while, like if we were doing like a promotional, like, get your attention picture, he would green screen it. We were like putting ourselves in the space shuttle and he'd prompt with it
Yeah,
for
yeah, yeah.
a tidal wave behind us. Now on Instagram, you could do that AI button and I could just have a picture of us here and like put like bulls behind us, like we're running in it.
Yeah, yeah.
That
I
it's
mean, like, that
okay.
sounds cool. Like that's why I said, like, I don't think it's like terrible. I just think that there's like, listen, I guess it's like anything. There's benefits and downsides.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, even the stupid AI DJ on Spotify, for a while I thought it was funny, but he gets just really repetitive on me. He throws me the same stuff, and I'm like, yeah, go lay down. I'll pick my own.
What I always say is an AI DJ does not know that after what is it? Heartbreaker comes Living, Loving, Made. You have to have two songs back to back. After what's it? Waiting for the Bus is Jesus Just Left Chicago. Like AI does not understand that. So when that ZZ Top song ends and you don't get the second song, you're like, all right, you're fired.
Like I think it's fascinating, and like some, I do think it's fascinating. Like, you can get artwork for basically free or cheap doing it that way, and people
Right.
just like, I believe in paying an artist to make it, obviously, but like, dude, like people also forget, especially with death metal, you're not making a ton of fucking money. I'm not saying bands don't make money. I would never say that. I'm actually on team like, yo, some bands do make a living, and you got to work hard and you earn it, and the bands should make money. But some of these bands aren't making a ton of money, and you get a budget, and you're like, well, we can cut a corner there. I'm not, like I said, I'm not team AI.
Right.
I was fine with spending money this record and every record to get cool artwork. I
Yeah.
am super like, I like having hand drawn stuff or painted stuff or hand digitally, whatever. But I just don't have a dog. Like I just don't have the energy to dog people like I used to.
And there's
As I get older
probably
and grumpier and tired, I'm like, oh man, I don't know.
scams too where you think you're like guys are thinking that they're paying for actual art and somebody's AI in it. And then,
I've seen it already. I've seen
I
that
bet
before
you.
too. I'm just like, wow,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah. So, well, we play a game on the show. So I think you'll enjoy this. It's called Blaspheming Monikers. Okay. So the way it works is there's 5 band names in front of me. One I made up. So you get to guess which one of these is a fake band name. Okay.
Go for it.
Okay. First is Evil Epitome. Second is Evil Flesh. Third is Evil Entourage. Fourth, Evil Shrine. And fifth, Evil Cosby.
What's the last one?
Evil Cosby.
I'm going with Evil Epitome for some reason.
No, they're real. They're death metal from LA. They only have one EP from 09, but they're real.
Yeah, that's the only that's my favorite one, dude. That's always the safe bet. You're like, I like the first EP. Everything after it sucks, dude. I like the
All
demo.
right, so that leaves Evil Flesh, Evil Entourage, Evil Shrine, and Evil Cosby.
I'm not going with Evil Cosby. That's too obvious to like it. No, there's no way. Evil Shrine.
Very good. Yeah, that's one I made up. Yeah. Evil
Okay.
Cosby is real sludge metal from Italy, and they have like 4 albums.
That's why I was saying, like, when you hear a name like that, you're like, that's gotta be fake. And
So
because I know
specific.
my death metal, I'm like, no, it's real. There's no way it's not real.
I don't know. I don't know how far they're going with that name, but
Like, wow,
yeah.
did they mean Bill Cosby?
I don't know what else could they mean.
I don't know. I guess.
Anyway, so
Maybe they like to slip each other Mickeys. I don't know.
I don't know.
All right, so I did have one question about Savor the Suffering. Does someone throw up at the end of that?
No, that's Shane doing his best. I think getting cut up by a chainsaw and slit throat impression.
Okay.
Can't use like
Well, you
real
something's
you
going
can't
on
use
there.
samples and stuff like that because of copyright, but we have to make them ourselves.
I really like the fact that you went with, the fact that you're cognitive, that you went with Rorschach, the blots and all that stuff. you know, it's like the most outrageous thing. Mental health is such a fragile thing, and yet it's the most controversial treatments. Like, even that's controversial. You know, lobotomies are controversial, electric shock therapy.
Yeah, it's so I definitely struggle with like major depression and anxiety. I think it's fascinating because like everyone's mind's different. There's no just this is how it is, this is how it is. And it's not just your mind, it's the way everyone handles things are different. So like
Yeah.
what might work for one person doesn't work for the other person and vice versa. So like, and I do believe in like taking care of yourself and like um having the responsibility to be like, hey, I have to do something about this to make it better because like no one else can help you with that. Like you're the only one that knows what's going on up here. You know, you don't have,
Mm.
you know, you're not gonna be able to fix it on your own, but you can go get help some way or another. And that's sometimes easier said than done too. But it's fascinating when you start talking about treatment and stuff like that, how like there's so many different doors to walk through to at least with decent coping skills or, you know, treatments and stuff.
Yeah, I was watching this comedian one time, and he had some severe issues. He had to be checked in somewhere, and he said, "Forget everything you've heard about electric shock therapy. It was awesome. I looked forward to it every day." He said, "It's not like Frankenstein anymore. It was the greatest. It was so calming." So right there, I was like, "All right, I don't know anything about this. Everything I know is, yeah." I didn't expect to hear that, you know.
Dude, I tell you what, I had cut back on caffeine and that was like a big thing for me.
You know.
Yeah, it's tough, the little things, you know. We're runners. That's I love to run and listen to metal, and then you know what? I don't care about
Well, I ain't
anything.
running from shit, brother. No, I was jogging for a while. I've got a really bad knee and I'm trying to get back into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Interesting.
tough. I think I'm better running. I used to take this dance class, and I would periodically just hurt myself to no end. Landing a jump, I did 48 other times. I'm like, ow! You know, it was really. I stopped
But
doing it after about 10 years.
dancing was a lot more dangerous for you than running. Yeah. Yeah. It seemed like it. Yeah. Yeah.
So looks like you guys are set up to play the Metal Injection Festival in New York in
Yeah,
September. So what might a set list look like for you guys?
we haven't figured that out yet. We just picked that. We just set the set list for our tour in July. I just was like, yo, guys, this is set list. Everyone's like, okay, I'll get practicing it now. But we haven't gotten that far yet, so I can't make any promises.
Do you know what you're most looking forward to checking out while you're there?
I'm still waiting to see which bands are playing which day. Uh, God forbid was super special to me growing up. They were one of my
Yeah.
favorite bands. I actually did a paper in college about them. So seeing them do a Gone Forever set's going to be awesome. Even though I grew up with Reject the Sickness and Determination, I
Yeah.
still liked Gone Forever a lot. I definitely, if they're playing that day, I want to see Converge.
Yeah.
Cave In would be cool too. I'm sure I'm going to be missing because that night when we're done playing, we have to drive 12 hours to start our tour. We got to go to Canada overnight to meet up with Benighted to do our Canadian tour.
Wow.
Well, I know you'll be by us. I think is it end of July? You'll be at the Shamrock.
Yeah. With Dysentery and Atre Billis. Come out.
That's a Saturday.
We'll go to that. We'll be there. Yeah.
Come hang.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll come hang out with you because
We're fun.
We're on Hartford Road. It's not far.
Yeah, it's real close. So that'll work out well. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Very cool.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on this fantastic album. I was even had it spin and walking the dog tonight. And every time I hear it, I pick up another nuance or something else added.
Oh, thank you. It's been wild to see this many people like it. Like we were proud of it, but like you always put it out like, yeah, maybe 5 people are gonna like it, but it's been total opposite. So it's been really cool.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll get you at Maryland Death Fest soon again.
Yeah, we're hoping. And like I said, come hang at the show. And I appreciate you guys doing this stuff. It's not a lot of you guys don't get enough thanks for doing this kind of stuff.
This is the Snaggletooth Extreme Metal Podcast.